Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so where we left off, we brought the two characters over. We applied a gradient. Now the next thing I want to do is start putting some text in here. So one of the best websites that I know of to go and grab um, different fonts for Photoshop is dafont.com. DAFONT.com. So let's go to the font and we're gonna look for a cool looking font that says fight with some kind of fight theme. Let's see if there's a section here for fight. Here, let's just type in fight and let's see what we get. Okay, so there's a prospect there. Fight night, knife fight. Let's see if any of these stand out for me. We're going with a Walking Dead kind of theme. Actually, let's see if they have a Walking Dead font. The Walking Dead. Dead font walking. Okay, we can go with this one, Dead font walking. So once you find one that you like, we're gonna hit download. It's gonna save as a zip. Okay, you're gonna download the TrueType font file. We'll double click on it. We'll hit install and just make note of the name, Dead font walking. So we'll hit install. Okay, then we'll go back to Photoshop and we will grab the horizontal type tool, and the name of it was, let's see, what was the name of it? It was Dead font walking. So we'll come up here to the D section. Here we go, Dead font walking. So I'm going to put my foreground color as black. Okay, and we'll do Rick. I'm going to hit enter because I want it to look like that. I want the last name to be underneath. And then I'm going to click on layer 0 just to deactivate, the current layer. And then we're going to make a new layer over here. Daryl. And what's Daryl's last name? I have no idea. Let's go look. Let's go look. Daryl last name. Daryl from Walking Dead. Dixon. Alright, so Daryl Dixon. Okay, now obviously this is too small. So one of the tricks, you can either highlight it with your mouse, or usually when you have a lot of text, I just prefer to hit Control A. And we're going to go to Window, and where is my character? Okay, so Window Character, this is the panel that controls text. So we can actually click on these T's and drag to the right, or drag to the left to make smaller, drag to the right to make bigger. So we're going to go about, let's go about right there. Now the spacing in between the letters, actually the words themselves, is going to be controlled by this tool right here. It's called the leading. So we're going to increase the leading, and we'll get Dixon just underneath. Okay. If you're not happy with the space in between the letters, you can increase, what is this called right here? The tracking. So we're going to go with something like this here. That looks pretty okay. I'm going to use the move tool, just kind of move it into position. The problem with Daryl's name is that the D's are like right on top of each other, so it doesn't look so nice spaced out as Rick Grimes. That looks pretty nice as is. So we're going to click on the text tool to select this text, and that is a little trick. You can't just come over here and click on the text. The only way you can select text is by going to the text tool, hovering over the text itself, then it becomes clickable. So always make sure you're on the text tool when you're doing this stuff. Okay, so let's go. We should probably go see what Daryl size. So he was running a 96 point. So we'll go to Rick Grimes. We'll hit Control A to grab all of it. And let's just manually set this to 96. And then we can eyeball the rest. See, that looks much better. So we're Grimes, that looks cool. We should extend Daryl's last name. Or I think the problem is maybe the spacing in between. So let's close it off a little bit. Those D's just look really big compared to Rick's. What can we do to fix this? We're just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to eyeball it. We're going to make Daryl's a little bit smaller. Just so that it kind of looks about the same size, even though it's smaller. There we go. I'm happy with that. Alright, then we'll go and we'll put little verses in here. So, horizontal type tool. We'll do a verses. Okay, and we can mess with this. We can change this to red. Let's see what this looks like. We can change that to red. Okay. I tried to move the verses, but it actually moved the Daryl Dixon. So you always have to be aware of what layer you're on. So whatever layer is active, that's where the move tool is going to go to. So we're going to put a verses right there. And we're going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's make this bigger. Okay, and let's see what this looks like with the capital V. Yeah, I think I like, no, I actually like the smaller one. Okay. Now the verses, it kind of doesn't pop too much, so we're going to go ahead and add a drop layer, a drop shadow layer. Well, I should say a drop shadow, period. So we're going to right click on the verses layer, go to blending options, we'll put a check mark next to drop shadow, then we'll click on the word drop shadow itself, and this will bring up the drop shadow options. So we can kind of mess with the shadow. You can mess with the spread, you know, if you want it really big. I'm going to keep it about right there. That looks good. And I'm happy with that right there. Okay, so that's how you download custom fonts, add drop shadows, and mess with the character settings. Thanks for watching.